Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Classic Wrestling Series. I feel like today, hooray. But it's a Halloween series, third time's the charm. Yeah. I think I'm gonna change. One moment. Well, that's a lot better. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Halloween edition of the Classic Wrestling Series. Now, I may be dressed as the Painmaker, but oh boy, WCW were the innovators of pain. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go back to WCW. And ladies and gentlemen, why don't we go back to Halloween Havoc? I've been doing a lot of Halloween Havocs for the Halloween specials, but let's do this from October 27th, 1996. Let's do this. So, ladies and gentlemen, our opening contest was Dean Milenko taking on Rey Mysterio Jr. for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. This was a very, very entertaining matchup. I have to admit, around this time, WCW did have the Cruiserweight division, which was a fucking godsend around this time. At least they had some credible wrestlers when the main eventers were, well, past their prime, let's just say. But with that all being said, what happened in this match? This was a fun, entertaining matchup, going backwards and forwards. Obviously, Rey Mysterio was the WCW Cruiserweight Champion going into this. Played that up. Dean Malenko was the man of 1,000 holds. He would go on to feud with Jericho with the 1,004 holds promo, which I thought was just brilliant. I do believe as well that Chris Jericho is actually on this card tonight. So, very fitting, ladies and gentlemen. Also, if you actually think this is a good fit for me, put it in the comment section. I want to know what you guys actually think of the get-up. So, let's not waste any more time. We've got our next matchup coming up, but we've got Giant versus Ric Flair. But we've got Jarrett on the challenge. Yay! Jarrett's talking, so let's just do this. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, let's, copyright AEW. I do have the belt. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we just had DDP versus, I nearly said Eddie Kingston, and Eddie Guerrero in a battle of the for the Ring match. So this was for the Battle Bowl Ring, if I recall, back in 1996. I believe I have watched that pay-per-view. I could be wrong on that one. But this was basically a fun little matchup. I have to admit, DDP and Eddie Guerrero worked very, very well together, I thought. This was a very entertaining thing to see. It's kind of like the whole Dean Malenko Rey Mysterio Jr. match, but at the same time, they did it a little bit better in my opinion. Obviously, Eddie would be wouldn't naturally be a heavyweight to a degree, but he does have the body of a heavyweight too. Again, the degree in WCW. But this match, it was very entertaining, well paced. The ending I didn't like. Obviously, Eddie got hit with the diamond ring to then get the pinfall, but there was a lot of backwards and forwards between the two guys. It was really entertaining, and I've got to admit, I preferred it over Dean Malenko versus Eddie Guerrero Jr. Rey Mysterio Jr. I thought this was a really fun matchup. Now I'm just picturing Eddie Guerrero Jr. No, that's Dominic. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, this was fun. We've got Macho Man Randy Savage basically picking a winner for the Slim Jim competition that they ran for Halloween Havoc. I have no idea, ladies and gentlemen. But I will be back with you for our next matchup. So, we just had a few interviews as well. We had the Giant and millionaire Ted DiBiase interview the Giant before the matchup, because the Giant is with the NWO, obviously. We also had Dean Malenko on his win for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship, which is very entertaining. And now we have, Paul White versus Jeff Jarrett. This was okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was very entertaining, but at the same time, it was a DQ because Flair got involved, which is annoying. You wouldn't think Paul White as the Giant and Jeff Jarrett could be any good, but I kind of have to admit, it was entertaining. I'll grant it that. It was really fun to watch. It was just a slow match. Unfortunately, the Giant is slow. That can't be helped. But you can get behind him. There is no issues about that. it was a fun match. Obviously, Flair and everybody is there as well. Everyone comes out to basically stop the Giant from attacking Flair and Jarrett at the end. But we also had two dark matches for this show. We had Jim Powers taking on Pat Tanaka, Tanaka. I couldn't tell you which one that is. I do not believe he is Tatanka. Patrick Tatanka? No. He was one half of the Orient Express in WWF at this time, so fair enough. But also, ladies and gentlemen, we had Psychosis and Juventud Guerrera taking on Damien and, ironically enough, Halloween. Psychosis and Juventud Guerrera won the tag match, and Jim Powers won the singles match. No timings on this. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we have Six taking on, well, the person I'm cosplaying at today, Chris Jericho. So, this should be a good matchup. Let's watch it. So, we just had Chris Jericho versus Six in the next matchup. This was actually kind of entertaining, I gotta admit, until the damn finish. So, we obviously have the cricket referee, Nick Patrick, on the NWO side. This would be before he actually gets founded out as the club referee that he would be. This was really entertaining, I have to admit. The Cruiserweights were damn good in WCW, I will grant you that one. And this was a fun matchup, bar that kind of cheeky ending, but at the end of it, it was 1, 2, 3. It was a bit of a fast count, but again, high octane impact between these two guys, and it was very, very fun. So, next up, I have no idea what we've got next up. I really don't. Oh, we've got Arn Anderson! Oh, hell yeah! We've got Arn Anderson versus Lex Luger. Oh, crap. Let's see how well this one goes, ladies and gentlemen. So, we just had Lex Luger versus Arn Anderson, and not the best match. It was a match, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the best. It was entertaining, to say the least, but the referee gets poked in the eyes or something like that, gets distracted, so then basically Luger uses a steel chair on Arn Anderson and then puts him up for the torture rack for the win. It was going okay, but again, this was just a matchup. It wasn't very entertaining. It was, again, just a match. So yeah, in the record books, Luger did defeat Arn Anderson. We've still got about 3 more matches left. So next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have got Steve Monroe McMichael and Chris Benoit. Yay! Taking on the Faces of Fear, Men and the Barbarians. So let's not waste any more time, and let's get to that matchup, shall we? So we just had Steve Monroe McMichael and Chris Benoit taking on the Faces of Fear. Obviously, these guys, Faces of Fear, are part of the Dungeon of Doom 2.0, I believe. This was an okay matchup. I mean, Steve is, Monroe is still still okay at wrestling, at this point. And Benoit's Benoit. It wasn't too bad, don't get me wrong. I mean, they're still doing the old, they're still doing the Benoit and the Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan storyline. Obviously, I've stated about it before. It's not a situation I like to talk about anymore. Obviously because of Benoit. But the match was okay. Don't get me wrong. It looked stiff. It sounded stiff as well. But yeah, Faces of Fear gets a win after a pile driver onto McMichael because Benoit is taken out during the match. And then they, Faces of Fear beat down, well, Dungeon of Doom technically beats down the Horsemen, Michaels, and, Monroe and Benoit, to basically lead us into our next match, which is the Harlem Heat taking on the Outsiders for the tag team titles. My god, I forgot just how much I fucking hate the NWO theme song. My god. But we've only got this match and our main event, which is Randy Savage versus Hulk Hogan. So let's just get through the NWO theme. So we just had Harlem Heat taking on the Outsiders for the tag team titles. This was entertaining. I mean, it is a Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Stevie Ray match, so it's not going to be impactful with wrestling, as they say, but Booker T did do the majority of the work. It was very entertaining, I have to admit. The Outsiders are the new WCW Tag Team Champions after Kevin Nash hits Stevie Ray with a walking cane. Just fucking hell. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the point of the show where it's our main event, and it is Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man Randy Savage for the WCW title. Let's not waste any more time, let's just do this. So, we just had Macho Man versus Hulk Hogan, and oh my god, this was crap. This was absolutely crap. Basically, this is just Hogan being Hogan, and at the end of it, Hogan wins after shambling through the match, and yeah, it was not good, ladies and gentlemen. But at the end of it, we still got a match out of it. Patrick, the NWO ref, comes out and basically costs Macho Man the match. So, what did I think of WCW Halloween Havoc 1996? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as well. Mr. Who do you call him now? Roddy Piper comes out, basically talks about that, talks about all this, all the BS going on and with the NWO. Yeah, it's basically just to send the crowd home happy and pretty much, yeah. But at the end of it, what did I think of the show? It was a good show! Until we got to Arnoldson versus Lex Luger, and that wasn't very entertaining, guys. I'm sorry, but it wasn't. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Halloween special of the classic wrestling series. I hope you liked the surprise in the Jericho cosplay. Like I say, copyright to AEW for the title and the shirt I'm wearing. And I will see you guys next week for the next episode of the classic wrestling series and of AEW Dynamite. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.